After Umar II, the next caliph was Yazid, and he remained caliph for 4 years until his death in 724 CE. He was a capable person, and in start he tried to follow the footsteps of Umar bin Abdul Aziz, but he couldn't continue it for a long time. After 2 months, all the previous practices of Umayyads came back. All the previous policies of Umayyad dynasty started again. After him, the next caliph was Hisham bin Abdul Malik, who became caliph in 724 and remained caliph until his death in 743 CE for 20 years. And the next caliph was Al-Walid II, the son of Yazid, who became caliph for 1 year from 743 to 744 CE. And after him, Yazid III, the son of Al-Walid, and he became caliph for a very short time. And then Ibrahim bin Al-Walid, his brother, he also became caliph for a very short time. And after him, their general Marwan bin Muhammad, or Marwan II, he took the caliphate. He was a brave and capable person. He became the next caliph, and he tried his best to revive the caliphate, but he couldn't take it for a long time. And eventually, this caliphate ended in 750 CE. The period after the Umar II is counted as the downfall period of Umayyad dynasty, as the situation gets worse day by day. Before we discuss about the downfall reason, we discuss what was the administrative structure of Umayyad dynasty. So, as the Umayyads brought many changes into prevailing administrative structure, so there was a drastic shift in both institutions and administration. For example, they changed the very basic things of caliphate. The first one is the caliph. So, Islamic caliphate changed into the hereditary kingship. Method of electing a caliph was replaced by a unratified nomination, and ruling over the Muslims became the privilege of a single family. The Shura, they changed the concept of Shura as well. Basically, they abolished this institute, this consultant body. There was no check and balance on the caliph. Only Umar II, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, made efforts to revive it, but his efforts proved very short-lived. And the Baitul Mal, they also changed the concept of Baitul Mal. Baitul Mal became the royal treasury. Caliphs and the family members of royal family members used it for their personal expenditures, and they adopted a very lavish lifestyle and imposed the undue taxes on the people. And they developed the royal courts. As we know that there was no royal court in the Rashidun Caliphate, but the Umayyads adopted Sassanid and Byzantine practices in their court. The caliphs hired musicians, singers, and poets, and paid them the very huge salaries and huge sums of money in gifts to these useless employees of the royal court. And due to these courts, there was a lack of communication between the caliph and the masses. Okay, their government was the central government. Administratively, their government was the central government, and they divided it into 5 different branches or 5 boards. First one was the Diwan al-Jund. It was the board of military administration, as well as deal with the pensions of the military personnel. The second department was the Diwan al-Khiraj. It was a board for financial management. It maintained the accounts, etc. Third one was the Diwan al-Khatam. It maintained record of correspondence and orders issued by the Caliph. And the fourth one was the Diwan al-Barid. You can say it was the communication department. It was for the postal services. And the fifth one was the Diwan al-Ahdas, the police department. They have to administer the police system, and they were responsible to ensure the law and order and security of the citizen. And basically, their administrative system was the provincial administration, because they have divided the caliphate into 6 different provinces, and each province have their own officials. For example, governor, tax collector, police officer, judge, etc. And their source of revenue was 5 major sources. For example, zakat, jizya, ushur, khiraj, and khums. These revenues basically collected on provincial level and then shifted to the capital, to Damascus. Okay, now we discuss their causes of reason of their downfall. This was a very powerful caliphate and the most expanded empire of Islamic history. So what was the reason of their downfall? The first reason is the dynastic decline, a natural phenomena. It is the doctrine of Ibn Khaldun. As he says, natural degeneration of dynasty can only be avoided through the reforms which the Umayyads ignored. So he considered it as the natural phenomena, that after every rise there is a decline. So he thinks that this was a natural phenomena because they didn't adopt the reforms. The second reason is the violation of Islamic principles. The many caliphs violate the Islamic principles. For example, Yazid and others, they violated the principles of Islam, as well as in the nomination of the caliph. So this, for that reason, the Umayyads lacked the support and cooperation of the people. Third reason is the weak and incompetent rulers. After Muawiyah Radhiyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, Abdul Malik, Walid first and Umar second, there was no capable caliph. After Umar second, there were the very weak people, very weak rulers. And the fourth reason is the biases against non-Arabs, because they were the Arabs and they have some kind of biasness against the non-Arabs. So this was another reason of their weakness. Fifth reason is the succession controversies. Because there was no fixed and definite rule for succession to the throne, for that reason this created trouble whenever a ruler dies or killed. So there was a dispute between the royal family. The sixth reason was indifference to the administration. Every caliph has his own administration system. So this created some kind of corruption and nepotism in the officers and the official department. As well as their policy, tribal policy was also discriminative, because that was society was the tribal society, so they have some kind of tribal biasness. The tragedy of Karbala is also a major reason of their downfall. Most of the people, due to this tragedy, went against the Umayyad Caliphate. And the ninth reason is the luxury and extravagances of the Umayyads. Many Islamic scholars objected their lifestyles. And the 10th reason, the most important reason, is the Abbasid movement. Actually, this was the reason Abbasid revolution, which weakened their caliphate. It was a deadly blow to the Umayyad rules. All the people who were against the Umayyad dynasty. They gathered under the flag of Abbasid movement. So, due to this Abbasid movement, Abbasid revolutions, their the Caliphate of Umayyad got ended in 750 CE. In the next, we will discuss about the Abbasid revolution, how they started, and how they got their dynasty, Abbasid Caliphate. In 750, the Umayyad dynasty ended in Islamic empire, and after that, one prince escaped from the Damascus to Spain, and he due to the Abbasid revolution, the Umayyad dynasty ended in Damascus, in the main areas of Islamic empire. But one prince, Abdul, escaped from the Damascus, and he reached the Andalus and Spain, and he restructured the Umayyad dynasty again there, and they remained for a long time. And we will discuss after it the Umayyad dynasty in Spain.